The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
And I'll bet right now it's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions, right?
2 touchdown passes
Two
last week.
touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Now Wilson on first down. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be second down. And we take a look at the offense for the Seahawks.
And wide receiver Tyler Lockett continues to improve as a route runner and a playmaker downfield. But let's not forget his main use, kick returner. Knows how to break open a game in that area as well.
On second down, here's Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
False start. Offense.
Boom, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Here now the starters defensively for the Vikings. They played really well in the win last week over the Redskins.
The best defenses I know, they draw lines in the sand and say you're not going to cross that. For most of them, it's 100 yards of total offense. They didn't quite accomplish that, but still a pretty darn good game last week. Just over 100 yards of total offense given up.
On third down, Wilson. And that is incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over at their own 20-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Leading them out is their 6'2 quarterback who was a 4th-round pick back in 2012, Kirk Cousins.
Just 2 weeks left in the regular season, so not many opportunities left. But I've got to tell you, I think he's had an MVP type of a season, and I just hope that everyone who votes doesn't go to sleep and already have their ballots cast.
I think there are a couple others in the national media who feel that way, too. You and I have been discussing this race since the calendar hit December, as have many other, but I think it's going to take 8 big quarters for him to truly have consideration. It's caught by Treadwell. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Okay, Charles, the Vikings offensive starters, a former Ole Miss Rebel is a guy to watch, and that's Laquan Treadwell.
No doubt about it, and when you look at his speed, forget it. All right, just throw out that time stuff. Watch his play speed. He plays the game really fast and big and aggressively. They want to call him Megaquan. If he plays to that, he'll really help this Vikings team.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. Comes Minnesota. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a 1st down. First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. From the gun, here's Cousins. Eluding the pressure right. And he's got it. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The numbers for Thielen in that game last week, he was pretty prophetic. He said before that game, I want to get in the end zone often. He got there 3 times.
Yeah, it's one thing to catch a lot of footballs. That is important, but it's what you do after the catch that can make you great. And he had a great game last week.
They go play action here on 1st down. Sliding out of the pocket. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about.
Holding offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. And a look at Seattle's defense.
And middle linebacker Bobby Wagner, he's playing the absolute perfect position. He's the type of guy that you build around. Cornerstone of a defense, his ability to play the run, the pass, and his leadership skills. You get the full package with him.
So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. He gets this down to the 3, but no further. Brought the power run out of the bag and got a couple extra yards with it. They've got it down to the 3, but now this is 3rd and goal. Cousins now. And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just working the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
A holding penalty, that puts them in an unenviable spot here as they try again on 3rd and goal. Cousins. And Thielens got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. That's why you got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson in the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now Wilson on 2nd down. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
They needed a yard. That's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulder square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They go read option with Wilson. He may try and run for this. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So possession goes over here on the punt. And this offense is going to take over at their own 20-yard line. Cousins now to throw on 1st down. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Here's Wilson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Oh, boy, partner, did that just happen? I've got my hand over my eyes right now because, like him, it's going to haunt my dreams, too. He was wide open. How did he overthrow him there?
Defensively, just very lucky. You know that they got away with one there. To throw is Wilson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And out now come the Vikings. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Flush to his right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Christian Covington in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open,
and the pressure gets to him again. Barkevius Mingo in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get out to the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. The tackle made there by Linval Joseph.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. It didn't happen on that play.
They set up the screen to Penny. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Now, that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
On 1st down, Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. Again, Wilson. And it's hauled in by Nick Vanette. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Now Wilson. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Armstrong. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the sticks, sets up a 1st and goal.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
He'll get it up the middle, and he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Rashad Penny, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Cousins now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. More from Minneapolis after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Cousins on first down. The throw left side complete to Treadwell. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
2nd down, Cousins. And this will be incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
It's a gain of 4, and it gets him the 1st.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
Cousins to throw it. Over the middle, complete. It's Morgan. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. 1st down. Here's Cousins. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And on On 3rd and inches, we're going to get a whistle and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Off the play fake, Cousins. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. As his guys are in for 6, and the Vikings are able to strike for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front, and now see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Extra point up and good by Bailey, and that makes the score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. A little over 20 seconds remaining in the half as they'll line up here 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny, and he powers his way up past the 30. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. On 2nd down, Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. And he slides to avoid the hit. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Leaves it for Penny, and he'll go down right around the 47 this time. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. He's going to loft one deep into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Anderson Aho. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the 3rd. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
To throw is Cousins. Flushed out right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Christian Covington in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
It's a gain of 7 on the carry, but they'll need to double that here. It's 3rd and 14.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Eluding the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Frank Clark in there to get him, and And that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
That'd be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the third quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10, right at the 30. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. Open man, it's Bennett. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The 13 yards that time at a 1st.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. He's got the tight end, Vanette. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Armstrong. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 14. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. He's got Lockett. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
So that drive in total 8 plays. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. Fielded about a yard deep. Nifty move. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times...
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Bobby Wagner able to get in there and drop him behind the line. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. Now he'll go deep down the middle. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Now it's Lockett. A great return there of 22 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 37. They'll try and get the road game going. This is Penny looking for an opening. Not much there. He'll get it to the 39. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Again, it's Penny, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. And now out comes Minnesota. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On 1st down, Murray. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Cousins. And he fires one incomplete. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell. And now it's 3rd down. He's lucky to be getting that one back. After what they've done with him all day long with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart and his pride is kicked in. Made a terrific play. Cousins now. He's got the 1st down and more past midfield. And gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. Cousins able to connect with Treadwell for a Minnesota 1st. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different. Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can... And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Jaron Reed in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon. This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. A good pickup there. 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Play fake. Cousins. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Out comes the Seattle offense. We take a peek at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed,
Yeah, I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
On second down, here's Wilson. That's caught by Penny. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 55 yards.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Anderson-Dejo. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Cousins. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Seahawks have recovered.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is
touching.
on.
Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. After the penalty, it's Penny. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Anderson-Dejo. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Now Cousins. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end there, Kyle Rudolph. And it's 3rd down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
It's caught by Treadwell. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a first down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection. This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they're looking at fourth down now in this tie ball game. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. Now Wilson. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. They were looking for a little spark and some breathing room. They got it right there, a gain of 14 and a first down. Well, that's a good first step, but several steps still to go.
They still have time for the possible game-winning field goal. Time for them to be quick and hurry at the same time.
Wilson, he hits Baldwin right side. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Throwing now is Wilson. Buying time to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact.
Let's get it.
Wilson to throw. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Pardon, you got to like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
Penny, a first down carry. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now they'll run it again with Penny. And past the 30 down to about the 27. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. They'll try and run for it with Penny. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain here down to the 22. Ben Gideon in on the stop. And that carry probably not so much for yardage, just to get the spot that you want to kick the field goal.
And any yardage you gain there is really kind of gravy. And this just becomes what my old coach used to say. Get into position to be in position. And that's what they want, the right spot for their kicker to line up the field goal.
So this is certainly a tough test here in the early career of the rookie kicker. With 3 seconds to go, this for the win. And the kick is good. The young rookie coming through like a 10-year vet. And they'll be celebrating in Pioneer Square tonight. The Seahawks have won the game. A road win in the National Football League. Charles.